An early season classic, night number 1 of the 15th ACC Big Ten Challenge rolls on in Minneapolis. 4-3 Wake Forest returns 4 starters despite a coaching change. They are headlined by last season's leading scorer in the ACC, Jules Spear. And then, Megan, you see the freshmen for Minnesota. 3 true freshmen, a sophomore, and a redshirt freshman make up the starting lineup tonight. And they love the youth of this team, the best recruiting class in program history.
3 true freshmen, a sophomore, and a redshirt freshman walk into a room. It sounds like the start of a joke, but these 3 freshmen have been anything but a joke.
And it's interesting looking at this Wake Forest team under a brand new head coach, Megan. They're transitioning to more of a motion offense where the ball isn't always in her hands as much, and that's been an adjustment for her.
Playing more of a read and react style offense. But look, Spear is the type of player who is always hunting for her shot. She is aggressive and has the greenest of green lights from her coaching staff.
Coming off her 4th 30-point output of her career, she lights it up from 3. Preseason All-ACC Wooden Award watch list as well. And that's who she will be facing to start things off tonight, the freshman from Minnesota, Amaya Battle. Winning the tip is the Demon Deacons, and the first touch goes to Spear, and then into the post, Amira Hines. We're going to be talking about her with her ability on the glass as she misses her first look. Goes right into the post for Rose Misha in her 2nd season, bringing the most experience of any Gopher in this starting lineup, and she'll turn it over to start things off.
Rose Misha has been the type of player that made a massive jump from last year to this year.
In the building tonight, a Naismith Hall of Famer in Lindsay Whalen in her 5th season leading the Gophers. Also just inducted, well, she will be in 2023, to the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame in Knoxville as well.
Lindsay Whalen has a lot of Hall of Fame speeches she's got to get to writing, but one of the all-time greats to do it. And how fantastic these young freshmen have the ability to learn from one of the greatest point guards to ever play the game.
Harrison Fowl.
One should go to YouTube and watch it as well because it was fantastic.
It was Lindsay Whalen. As we all know. I remember my first snow as well.
Do you?
I mean, I was an adult.
Really?
Yeah.
And you live in Minneapolis.
At this point, yes. Spear trying to corral things. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Both offenses disjointed. It's Harrison.
Deflating as a defense to let the shot clock run down so much, but a fantastic finish in the paint.
Desperation shot, she got to go, and there is Battle creating. Spear with it now. Another pull up, she'll misfire and ripped down by Bradwell. Team shooting a combined 2 for 14 as Battle.
And driving to the basket, creating opportunities from an assist standpoint and a scoring standpoint.
You can also be sped up and trying too hard with how things are going offensively.
Just the pace of play in general is so much faster, and trying to adjust the physicality and that tempo can be challenging.
Sumiel. Williams takes some contact from Battle, who uses her size to stay with her. Sumiel, the spin move against the freshman.
Aggressive, but had deep positioning down low, so that simple move left her right under the basket with the proper angle.
Coming off a game in which she had 9 rebounds, 5 assists down low, and production she's putting up for Minnesota, 10 points, 6.5 rebounds as
well. So kind of a positionless big, if you get what I'm saying.
Knee shot.
The shot doesn't go, but that was the correct play for Borovich to make.
Spear off the dribble. There she gets it. That's exactly right. Though Michigan State has the Paul Bunyan Trophy, so I think kind of the Great Lakes area can claim him as Higher lines up, and
defense for Wake Forest was off and help a little bit, so Higher had just enough time on the skip pass to get the shot off.
Williams gets that to fall. Borovich along the baseline. How did she spin? Great basket for the redshirt freshman.
We usually say thread the needle with the pass, but she literally threaded a needle with her body with that reverse layup. Fantastic move to the basket by the redshirt freshman.
2 minutes into the second quarter, Minnesota trying to get things going offensively. Both teams still under 30%. Williams goes hard to the basket, and her first full season joining the team in the spring of 2020. 10 seconds on the shot clock, into the paint. It is Hines who misfires off the glass, and Minnesota's transition offense rolling. Braun is fouled. His game against the University of Virginia, but that's the best start.
Penn State has guard McKenna Marisa, who ranks in the top 5 in the scoring in the Big Ten last season.
Braun knocks down both at the free throw line. She has not attempted a shot in this game either as the leading scorer for Minnesota.
That was the main focus and shoot-around for the Demon Deacons, trying to slow down Braun and make it really difficult.
Trying to get more points at the free throw line. Both these teams, Megan, have played Virginia.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do to get through the screen if you're a defender.
Spear being guarded by Barovich, last year's leading scorer in the ACC. They go into the paint. Williams one-on-one, just that easy.
Perfect angle to the basket.
Williams described by her coach as the smartest player on the team, the highest IQ. As Braun is fouled. Last foul on Alyssa Andrews as Braun goes to the free throw line. A shot attempt so far.
It's not concerning simply because Braun's a player that understands allowing the game.
No doubt about those. Caton, pump fake drive, gets the step.
So Caton getting to the basket is going to force Wake Forest to have to think twice on how they defend her.
Caton ending up in Minnesota. She gets beat backdoor. Williams with 16 in California, ends up going to Cal to start things off, but she remembered the relationship that she had with Shimmy Gray-Miller.
Well, Associate Head Coach Shimmy Gray-Miller has done a fantastic job for this Minnesota team, has implemented a meditation that the team does during shoot-around, in which they just get grounded and ready for the game coming up.
You mentioned Mara Braun.
Lindsay Whalen was doing it.
Things are going on in the gym. It was a cool thing to see. For Wake Forest, and all coming in this second quarter as Sonano is stopped on cleanup. Braun faces more pressure. The Demon Deacons forcing her away from the basket. Baseline is Caton. More great help defense by Wake Forest. Braun gets free, and there's her first bucket.
And he looks at the basket, let alone open looks, but a nice job creating that space for herself with the pump fake.
Megan Conley, no good from three. Minnesota trying to keep this energy going. Late here in the second quarter.
Steps up with so much confidence. Doesn't care that she started out 1 for 5. She just continues shooting the ball. That's what scorers do best.
Last foul called on Olivia Sumio, and she will go to the bench. Williams on the bench as well, leading the charge offensively. Sonano gets the mid-range.
Wake Forest needs a bucket on this possession just to get some confidence back.
Harrison, the point guard for the Demon Deacons, finds Spear. Caton closes out close, but not close enough.
Just what the doctor ordered. Get the ball to Spear and get out the way.
It's been impressive to see how she changes up her shooting. Nearly 70% of her shot attempts are from three, but she very much is a dynamic three-level scorer. Barovich looking for Caton. One more pass to Sonano, and she drains the long two.
It's going to be massive in this second half to continue that defensive intensity.
Braun looking to pick up where she left off. Wake Forest had been so good and even denying her the basketball, but now
Braun told us that Minnesota was her first ever offer, and the fact that she even got to speak to Lindsay Whalen, she was somewhat starstruck, has always admired Coach Whalen throughout the playing career and wanted to play for her if she got the chance.
Spear, Nisha over two Demon Deacons, and there's Hines skying for that board.
Nisha kept her head down when she dribbled the ball, and therefore she missed the fact that she was double-teamed and had teammates open.
Spear, another good look, drains another.
What a step back and knock down the three.
Foul keeps it here with the Gophers, slicing inside. Wake Forest had a run of its own in this third quarter. It has not been able to find separation against the Gophers.
Wake Forest loves to shoot threes. They average 26 attempts a game and haven't been able to get the three-point.
Harrison with the bucket. Wake Forest, you're right, in this game, 2 for 9 from three-point range. Those coming from Spear. In the paint, it is Misha back to the
Minnesota for getting out on the three-point line. They've denied on the wings, as well as just not allowed easy looks when it comes to Wake Forest driving and trying to collapse the defense.
Spear is fouled for the first time in this game.
Get fouled and get to the line to see the ball go in. Spear's done a nice job on that possession.
At all three levels. Here is Battle rising, but leaving it short, ripped away by Spear. Spear finds an open Sumiel, and Barovic will bring it up the floor for the Gophers. Into the paint, Misha is fouled. Top 10 matchup. Then Michigan State hosts Georgia Tech. It's all tomorrow on Big Ten Network and North Carolina.
Alyssa Usby, rather, who's from Minnesota. Mind you, Invitational, Legacy, whatever tournament was out there in Portland, but they won and they have been rolling, as has Indiana.
Minnesota, meanwhile, in a drought again. 3 minutes without scoring. Great look.
Wake Forest has done a nice job moving the ball in this third quarter. They've forced Minnesota to play defense longer into the possession, and then they're catching Minnesota off guard on really sharp passes.
7-0 run for Wake Forest as Misha goes right into the chest. Normally that Misha has struggled with as she's at the free throw line. Not the case today as the lefty is able to net the set. She's staying in, taking the ball out. They set up Spear for a great look at a three. St. Paul likes that recognition, by the way. Don't get a lot of shout-outs the same way.
I went to a great Taylor Swift concert in St. Paul, so I'm fond of that city.
Oh, very nice. Minnesota slowing down the transition offense of the Deacs. Scruggs has to pull that down, and she powers it up. Under 1:30 on the clock in the third quarter. Barovic trying to eat into that lead on one shot. This time she attacks, drops the dime to Misha. The only Gopher with 3. Battle gets loose ahead, but cannot complete the layup. Peyton cleans up the
inside the ball, getting stops.
They were down by 10 moments ago. Now a 2-possession game. Braun guarding Spear, facing up is Becker. Her skull was too small for her brain and putting pressure on her spinal cord. She's still dealing with these symptoms right now, but things have greatly improved for her, and she's an important leader for the Gophers.
Barovic's just so positive. Her teammates love her, and she's grateful to just be simply playing the game of basketball right now.
She joined early in the spring semester of 2020, now hoping to get her first full season, and Gopher fans would love to see that. Summit turning on the Jets, finds higher, and she can't flip it up and in. Might have been able to take a more efficient route to that layup. And she can't get it to go.
Minnesota has made it very difficult for itself at times when it comes to transition buckets. It's almost like players are hesitating and just need to simply go up and finish.
Spear being guarded by the freshman Braun. 5 seconds on the shot clock as she picks up her dribble. The backdoor cut. Watch out for her because of the way she embraces her work.
Well, and Sumiel has fantastic size and has used that length at 6'2" to catch the ball over her defender's head and finish at the rim.
Second leading scorer on the floor. I should say for Wake Forest. She's got 13 points on 6 for 9 shooting. Angelina Hammond new into the game for the Gophers. 3 seconds left for Braun. The scoop and score.
Still maintains enough space with that far arm to get the shot off.
She's looking like a big in there the way she was able to score. As Harrison chip game coming up.
That's going to be a fun one. Indianapolis this Saturday. Your screen, the Big Ten Volleyball Player of the Year. She was so much fun to watch this season, and Minnesota's going to host
to the all-freshman team as well. A great season for the Gophers, who will take on Southeastern Louisiana on Friday. Certainly a packed pad. Just has been an Achilles heel all game long.
Well, guards need to make sure they have a better open look at the basket, and that just comes by either pump faking or taking an extra dribble.
Biased. I'm jealous of anyone who has a layover here. Turnaround jump shot does not fall for Harrison, and rebound ripped down by Misha. Braun gonna do it again. Joining Borovich with 3 personal. Scruggs bounces out, and then up and in. 15 seconds on the clock for the Gophers. Skip pass to Gradwell, who came off the bench for the first time this season today. 5 seconds left. It is Gradwell, a deep 3 in the corner, and good. Her first basket, first points tonight. Make this a 1-possession game.
Fantastic 1-2 punch, but it all starts because Borovich drew the defense on the quick dribble.
Borovich through the screen. Tough ball handler. Sonano has nowhere to go with 7 seconds left, and it's up to Borovich, and she cannot thread the needle. Under 3 minutes left with Spear off a curl again. She's been able to find her points today, 15. 88% free throw shooter. She's only missed 4 of her 34 attempts coming into tonight.
Same philosophy of layups and free throws applies to Wake Forest in a game this close. That focus has to be there on the little things.
Braun gets free, lets it fly, and she's got it.
When she catches it to let it fly.
27 points, 5 for 10 from 3 as Williams attacks into 3 Gophers and 1.
Williams stays composed.
Her career high, 34, came in a 101-99 win. 2 minutes to go. Braun calls her own number, misfires there, and it will go back to Wake Forest. Gets it back from Scruggs, 5 on the clock. Difficult shot, too strong. Borovich with the rebound. Pushing it in transition, Misha off glass. Samia looking in the paint. It is Scruggs. She's going to dribble it out against Misha. Will spin with 1 second left. Great interior defense, but an offensive rebound for the Demon Deacons. 2 rebounds away from her 4th double-double this season. Coming up big on the fast break as that is knocked away. As Minnesota has been disruptive on the defensive side, particularly on this possession.
The Gophers have to defend without fouling and make sure they help if Spear gets the ball.
Williams gets the step on Borovich, can't get the mid-range to fall. Scruggs battling for the board. And a kick ball will get it to Minnesota. Gradwell was there battling as well. Braun 27 points on 9 for 16 shooting. She was held scoreless, held shotless in the first quarter. They get it into her. A top 5 scorer in the Big Ten, looking for that quick 2. Minnesota going with the lineup they've had for much of this season, with Maya Battle on the bench. Here is Braun, baseline jumper over to Deacs. Here is Misha, and 1.
You get in the weight room in the offseason to finish with plays like this. Wake Forest switches everything. Braun gets a look, but Rose Misha in the right place at the right time, finishing with contact. She doesn't even use the backboard.
Minnesota with this free throw looking for its first lead since it was 34-33 midway through the 3rd quarter. Misha today 1 for 4 from the free throw line. and it stays tied.
Wake Forest needs to get the ball to Spear, run her off a ball screen, and let her go to work. Minnesota has to send potentially 2 people at Spear to make sure she does not have a clean look at the basket.
Williams is the inbounder, and they go into the backcourt. It is in the hands of Spear, guarded by the freshman Braun. Five seconds left. Spear wants to say game over, but 3 seconds left. What a clutch basket by the junior.
She went to go use that ball screen. Braun anticipated it coming and jumped too far to that left side. And Spear was able to step back right there, enough space, and knock it down. Just fantastic work by the Wake Forest junior, staying patient, waiting for the shot she wanted. Spear barely had enough room to land on that.
That's something that's been called heavily in the WNBA recently, that I would imagine being a 4-point play. To tie this one up, 3 seconds on the clock.
Get the ball to Mara Braun.
And a foul called. An offensive foul. Scruggs drawing the push-up. .7 on the clock. She nets the first, makes it a 4-point game. And she does. And Minnesota will drop their final Big Ten ACC challenge. The final score, 63-59.